you can come on up. And grown-ups, join me in singing our new kid song. The boys today. Oh boy, it's a boys' day. Wish me luck. Okay, so what's the longest you've gone without sleep? Oh, Jeremiah, I'm bracing myself. Okay, what is it?
2 days.
What? 48 hours?
Yeah.
No.
I was in. Well,
Nana Papa.
I couldn't sleep because
God be with you.
I was in the Upper Peninsula with my dad, and I couldn't sleep because they were out riding the dirt bikes and it was so loud, so I didn't sleep for 2 days straight.
Okay, can anyone go ahead, Braden?
18 hours.
18 hours. What? You stayed up late though, like 5 hours, like past bedtime. Yeah. Oof. How does your body, Jeremiah? How did your body feel after staying up that long?
Not good at all.
Not
and I was
good.
mad at my dad and Madison at the same time.
Oh, so you were upset?
Yeah, because they didn't let me sleep, and they were riding the quads until
Oh, that sounds miserable.
and they were all out late, and so I couldn't sleep.
Grown-ups, you know that feeling of when you don't have enough sleep? It's the worst. And as you get older, does it get better when you get less sleep? No, we kind of feel yucky. What do you think, what do you think is the longest a recorded human, something that we know for sure, what's the longest you think they've stayed awake? Go ahead, what's the longest you think? 7 or 8 days?
Like 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
3 days.
3 days? Okay, you ready for a little bit of a lesson here? Okay, I'm going to give you a little bit of a science about sleep. Okay, so in 1963, before I was even born, I know you think I'm really old, but that was even before I was born. 1963. That's right.
Thank you.
Well, they think I'm like ancient. I was born in the 1900s, so they think I'm ancient. But 1963, there was a man named Randy Gardner, and he was 17 years old, so not much older than you guys. And he wanted to win a science fair. So he thought, okay, I have this plan. I'm going to stay awake as long as I can, and then I'm going to record my observations about how my body reacts, how my mind reacts. He was going to record this. So he enlisted his friends. It was 2 other boys. So 3 boys total. One was Randy. He was the one that was the subject that was going to stay awake. And the other 2, his friends, were going to keep him awake. They got to sleep, but then when one was sleeping, the other one was awake, and they were keeping him awake. And he did really well. He said that the first 2 days were really easy. He says he stayed away from beds and tried to stand as much as possible. But on day 3, it got a lot harder. He said by day 3, he noticed he was feeling nauseous, like sick to his stomach, and he was having a hard time eating. By day 11 days, he stayed awake for 11 days, 264 hours, he stayed awake. By day 11, he said he could hardly form a sentence. He could hardly communicate. He was obviously very sick to his stomach. He had a hard time. He said it felt like he instantly got like Alzheimer's. He couldn't remember anything. He could hardly speak. His brain had just kind of shut down. And he obviously realized he needed sleep. So by day 11, now at this point, the news has been kind of watching what's going on, and a doctor says, I want you to come in to my hospital, and I'm gonna scan your brain and kind of see how your brain reacted. So he did that, and then he finally got to sleep. And how long do you think he slept?
2 hours.
2 hours.
No, 2 days.
2 days?
3 days.
3 days. He slept for 14 hours, and then he said when he woke up, he felt pretty good. Just a little groggy, but he was able to kind of catch back up after those 14 hours of sleep. But he realized that sleep is so important to us. And are you guys good sleepers?
No.
No.
My nana makes me go to sleep.
None of you are good sleepers? You don't think you sleep well? No. Do you think it affects your body? No, you don't think it does?
Yeah, it does affect my body.
It does, because if you lack sleep, it can make you more prone to like getting sick. It can make you have problems at school with either your behavior or being able to pay attention. It can make you more likely to have diseases like diabetes and heart trouble. In fact, there is the world's largest study every single year, and you guys are part of it every single year. Did you know this? That you're part of a sleep study every year? Every year around the world. We just did it a couple weeks ago. Daylight savings.
Oh.
Right? And we sprung forward, and then in the fall we fall back. Do you know that when we spring forward, when we lose that 1 hour of sleep, do you know that around the world, there's a 24% increase in heart attacks? When we fall back, there's a 21% decrease in heart attacks. You guys are part of an experiment, and you don't even know it. But we know from around the world how important sleep is. So why am I even bothering talking about sleep today? Because our scripture story that we're going to study upstairs and that they're going to study down here is talking a little bit about that. There's this owner of a field, and he has this fig tree that's not producing fruit. It's not producing figs. And he tells the gardener, cut it down. It's not even worth it. Let's just get rid of that tree. And the gardener says, no, wait. Let's let the tree rest and grow and give it some time. He convinces the owner that we can just let it be for just a minute. Because sometimes in our lives, there is a time for resting and sleeping and letting others take care of us and listening. And then there's also a time for growing and learning and doing and working. And today when we go upstairs, we're going to talk about how to balance that out, because I know myself, I'm not great at that balance. I sometimes am really terrible at it. So that's a lesson for me to learn and for you guys to learn, because I know some of you are super busy, correct? Yes. And so we got to learn that balance between busy and doing and resting and growing. So let's go upstairs and talk about that while they talk about it down here. Let's go.